You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, we greatly appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday morning. You could be doing some laundry, you could be sleeping, you could just be hanging out with the fam, but you're here with us, so we appreciate you. If you're listening on 100.1 FM or you're watching us on one of our social media pages, we appreciate you. Jazz, good morning. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hey, do you feel different? Like,
a little bit. I think this one's hitting a little different just because it's 25 and I can no longer say 25. Early 20s. Like, that's scary.
So you about to be 30.
Yeah, I'm closer to 30 now. That's sick. I'm nervous. But
so you got things to look forward to. You got your car insurance going down. You got just a couple things you got going.
Yeah, catch a little bit of a break.
Okay.
You know, it might not be so bad.
Okay.
But I'm excited. So we'll see what 25 has to bring.
So how was your week?
It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Long week, and then yesterday got to celebrate with the fam, so that was nice.
What'd y'all do?
We went to Hibachi. Yeah, I was feeling a good steak.
Yeah.
Can never go wrong with Hibachi. So we went there last night with the whole fam. For the record, I went 3 for 4 on catching my shrimps. You know how they throw the shrimps?
So
Not any bragging.
Does somebody have video? Because I want to see it.
No video,
okay.
Unfortunately. But yeah, no bragging or anything, just for the record. So.
All right, we've got a lot to talk about today. We're definitely going to dive into Chiefs, Ravens. The people are here for it. They want to know what our thoughts. They want to know who we're predicting to win. Q should be here momentarily. So I'm really wanting to hear what he has to say because, he is a resident Eagles fan.
Yes.
And I just want to hear what he has to say about that.
Yeah. I know he still probably has a sour taste in his mouth.
Of course
but it is what it is.
Of course he does. Then we were going to talk Bucks hire Doc Rivers as new head coach. That was a little surprising. TCU women's basketball, we've talked about that the last couple of weeks. They've added 4 new walk-ons after they held their open tryouts. Who knew they had some all-staters that were just walking around the campus?
Hey, they had some gyms, diamonds in the rough.
All right, and then we're going to dive into some W.W.E. They are partnering with Netflix on a $5 billion deal. The big B, not the little B. Jim Harbaugh, he's leaving Michigan to accept the Chargers head coaching job. We'll dive into that. And in about 30 minutes, we'll have our sneakers of the week. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Now, it's no secret the Kansas City Chiefs are headed to Baltimore to play in their 6th straight AFC Championship game. And this is the first ever AFC Championship game for the Ravens at home.
Yep.
I mean, they've got the lineup. They're bringing T-Pain, whoever. They're trying to build all the hype and excitement around this. But how do you think our Chiefs are going to match up, Steve?
First of all, I'm glad you mentioned that because I totally forgot they're going to have T-Pain at halftime. And then you got pregame, you got Ray Lewis. Yep. You got so much happening just so they can get the fans all riled up.
Right. They're bringing out all the stops.
Yeah.
All the stops.
It's going to be crazy. I'm glad it's not a nighttime game. It's 3 p.m. In Baltimore, or actually it's 4 p.m. in Baltimore. So this is a little interesting. And I say that because you have this Ravens team who, they've been flawless throughout the whole season. They're 14-3, and I feel like they're playing their best football. However,
flawless.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah.
Elaborate. I feel like that's a pretty bold statement. Flawless.
You think about how the Ravens team is made up. They have Lamar Jackson, who everything runs through him.
Okay.
They have the defense, who their defense is, I would say, if not one of the best defense in the league right now. And so just the way that they've beat teams throughout the season. I mean, they've run through the Dolphins. They've run, but everybody got a piece of Dolphins. They run through the Dolphins. They've run through the 49ers. They've run through a bunch of teams. And so I feel like when you have a pretty flawless season like that, you're bound to have some type of, when things aren't going right in game. That's what I want to know. It's like when you have things going wrong in the game and you have to make those adjustments, and you've not had to do that all season, then what are you going to do? But if I'm looking at it from the Chiefs standpoint and what they need to do, I feel like they have to kill the engine, which is Lamar Jackson. This is a game where you can't let Lamar run over you with 100 yards, right? You just can't. You have to make sure that you make him beat you with his arm. If Lamar Jackson is going to go out there and torch the Chiefs for 200, 225 yards, 250 yards passing, yeah, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Because that's not his strength. And I feel like them playing the Buffalo Bills last week was kind of a preview to what they're going to see this week. Except, and I said this, I've been saying this all week, and people have, you don't know what you're talking about. To me, Josh Allen is a better QB than Lamar. I feel like
with the run game that Lamar has also.
With the run game that Lamar has, to me, Lamar needs open space to be effective with this run game. You look at, and I went back and watched the Bills Chiefs game. Some of those throws that Josh Allen made on the run, not a lot of QBs in the league can make that.
Dimes, yeah.
And just the fact that he's stronger, he's a bigger quarterback than Lamar Jackson is.
Okay.
I mean, he's not sliding down. He's trying to run through you or jump over you.
Right.
So it's a difference in QB, but I feel like he's more accurate down the field. And I'm just going off of what the eye test, what I've seen Lamar Jackson over his, short career so far in the NFL. And so I think you got to kill that engine. You really do.
Drop the mic, Steve. Cue your hot take.
I think Steve's crazy.
See? We called it. We did call it.
I think Steve's crazy. In the clutch, Josh Allen is not an accurate passer. You can't be better than a guy that has won damn near unanimous MVP, and you aren't clutch. I mean, we saw the throw that he threw at his receiver's feet. What was that, from the 30? Yeah, literally from the 30, and he threw at his feet in the end zone. Like, I don't know how that's better accurate. And then even with Stephon Diggs deep ball, he had to come back to the ball. He had to wait for the ball, and as another defender was draped on him. And as a quarterback, you're supposed to lead your receiver. We saw him miss way too many throws in the fourth quarter, and especially in the last two drives, to say he's far more elite than Lamar Jackson. I mean, but if that's the hill you'd like to die on.
Wow. And I see Tam is watching us on social media. Appreciate it. First of all, good morning to you. She said I'm crazy, just like you did. And the reason the reason I say that is because I get it. I'm not saying Lamar is just trash, like washed. I'm not saying that at all.
Not at all.
All I'm saying is that from what I've seen from Josh Allen, and just comparing apples to apples.
You've just seen more of Josh Allen.
That could be. That could very well be.
No, that's literally all it is.
That could very well be. But what I've seen though, and what I've seen from Josh Allen, I've seen him. He put his team on his back last week.
You're like one of those Heisman voters that.
No, I'm not one of them.
That
I ain't one of them.
You're like one of those Heisman voters that penalizes Pac-12 team players because they didn't want to stay up too late. They didn't want to stay up past 10 o'clock to watch them play. Like that's not a litmus test of who's better. And Josh Allen doesn't make people around him better. He's big and tumbles.
You said he's big, and so is this rumble on down the field, huh? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, he's big and he tumbles. I mean, that.
Oh, okay.
Outside of that, he's throwing ducks. And I mean, some passes he definitely has the arm strength to throw on the run. But if you're that much better than other quarterbacks in the league,
and don't get me wrong, because I know where you're getting ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he's head and shoulders better than that's not what I'm saying.
No, and that's what I'm saying. So if you're putting him above Lamar, that's like in spot number 2 or 3.
I was getting ready to say, because I was like, well, because we know who is one. Yeah. He would like to say who his one is.
No.
So, okay, he's not one anymore in your book?
No, not this season.
Okay.
We know.
That was real. That was real.
No.
That was pretty real. I'm proud of you for that. That was real of you.
No, because
baby steps. We gotta take
no,
baby steps.
And so I'm not like Steve, where I'm stuck on a point. Like football, and not even just football, but sports as a whole. Because basketball, sometimes you get passes, but football is a game of what have you done for me lately? And football is not that game where you can be. I'll put it like this. As a white quarterback, you can be very mediocre and still be considered like top of the top. Like we saw all week. I mean, almost every station make excuses for Josh Allen. And then 2 years ago, they changed the whole overtime rule for Josh Allen. So hopefully he can get a chance to beat Patrick Mahomes, and he didn't.
So let me get this straight. Are you saying Josh Allen is mediocre?
He's a little over mediocre. I give you that.
Okay. All right. So
he's above average.
Okay.
But I cannot give a guy that's not clutch like better than a lot of different people.
I agree.
Like him and Justin Herbert are kind of middling around the same.
and maybe go ahead.
I understand the hype, but like you said, how it always seems like making excuses. Like when has he lately in this position, especially against Patrick Mahomes, completely cleared the air that you've been like, okay, respect, I have to give it to him?
Probably 3 seasons ago.
Exactly.
That was literally 3 seasons ago. Right before the 13-second play, the 13-second situation. Like Josh Allen had taken a huge leap from like his 2nd or 3rd year.
Yeah, that was Stephon Diggs, bringing in Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs, yes.
Yeah.
And since then, he's done nothing. And all they say is that he just needs more pieces.
No, I'm not saying that. Like, and maybe that's where I'm a little blinded, because I see the pieces that Josh Allen has, right? I mean, you've got Gabe Davis, you've got all the other Stephon Diggs, you got all these other pieces, and they've rolled this year. I mean, we saw them after they fired I believe is their offensive coordinator. And they've definitely changed up. It was like they run 6 games straight after they beat the Chiefs. And so you think about that, and I'm like, maybe that's the part I'm going off of. It's just those 6 games where they willed their way into the playoffs. And then I look at how Lamar Jackson and this Baltimore Ravens team is. He's their leading rusher. When does that equate to success for an NFL team when your quarterback is your leading rusher? When has that worked?
I'm not holding this team with this very special player to another standard of other teams.
I'm not. I'm just saying, just in NFL history, when has that ever worked? When you're
that means he's really good. It doesn't. You can't say in NFL history, like when in NFL history has a quarterback like Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Like it's only happened one time. Like you can't single out Lamar for being a dynamic runner and being able to throw, and Lamar has a better completion percentage for career than Josh Allen.
He should. The sample size is smaller. I want to know how many passes is that over the course of his career. How many passes is that because I would guarantee it's probably he's probably thrown the ball half of what Josh Allen's thrown the ball.
Okay. You see how he tried to stretch it in?
I am not stretching it by any means.
Because he just said like 4 minutes ago that Josh Allen was probably more accurate. And now that he's introduced, hold on.
Size isn't the same. Q, you can't say that.
Remember we talked about not being stuck on a point?
We did.
He's stuck on that point.
So since you said I'm stuck on a point, let's move the point. Let's move the point to Chiefs.
Oh, now you want to move the goalposts.
No, to Chiefs.
Now you want to move the goalposts.
Let's move it to Chiefs Ravens.
Chiefs Ravens. What do outside of QB talk? What do the Chiefs need to do to beat the Ravens?
I mean, basically what they did with Buffalo and really just chipping at their own weaknesses. Buffalo moved the ball. I mean, pretty much at will. It seemed like in that first half. Now there was a couple of drives that they didn't necessarily complete, and I'm not going to blame that all on Josh Allen. I mean, that's a team thing. But they need to keep chipping away at not allowing the Ravens to get too high. The Ravens, and especially this season, are one of those teams like that 2019 Chiefs team, like a lot of different Super Bowl teams, that they're having too much fun. And when you get rolling, like 2019, 2020 Chiefs teams, when
you can say last year too.
When Patrick, Travis, and Tyreek all got rolling, and it took one or two catches for both of those guys, you started seeing a team have more fun. You started to see the morale boost. You started seeing plays being made. And Baltimore is kind of like that team now. Zay Flowers is not a Tyreek Hill. We know that. They have two decent tight ends, but I won't say they have a tight end that's comparable to Travis Kelce. We haven't seen that.
Isaiah Likely's been playing very good.
Yeah, he played very well last week. But if the Ravens get rolling at any point, the Chiefs don't like stop it, like they'll have a long day. But the Chiefs defense has played well. And they've played about as well as you could. And a lot of that goes towards scheme. Spags has had a long career where he knows how to adjust at halftime, and that's what the Chiefs have done well pretty much this whole season, is adjusting at halftime. If your halftime adjustments can cover up those holes in the defense, you'll end up doing the same thing you did to Buffalo last week.
This may be a defensive battle. I mean, because Baltimore's defense is no joke, similar to the Chiefs. They have a little edge over the Chiefs just a little bit, but I feel like they're about the same. But when I look at just how this offense has played, this going into last week, I think Travis Kelce mentioned it a couple of times. Like, man, we turn it on. It goes up a notch each game. It goes up a notch, and the fact that MVS, and I've been saying this, I said, look, you can't play bad off season, like. And then you go into the playoffs, you're a professional athlete. At some point, the law of averages is going to say that you are going to end up catching the ball.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you keep throwing the ball to him, he's going to catch it at some point. And I'm not saying that to be funny or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, keep going to him. And they put that on film last week. And now it's like, all right, the Ravens are looking back, sitting back and saying, okay, if MVS is on now, that's open. And we saw the floodgates open for Travis Kelce. He was wide open for his second touchdown. That's all because now the Buffalo Bills had to look at not only MVS, but then they had to look at Rashee Rice. Then they had to look at Isaiah Pacheco coming out the backfield and some other pieces around him. And the Chiefs are running a two tight end set because people were like, oh, well, what about this offensive line? How is the left tackle and the right tackle going to function with this great defensive line that the Baltimore Ravens has? Well, the Chiefs have been doing a lot of two tight end sets. They'll have Travis on one side and Blake Bell on the other, and they'll help out a little bit. And Travis gets free and kind of roams around, and that's we see what happens. So I feel like this offense is going to get rolling, but they've got to get up first. Like I said, make Lamar Jackson be a passer. To me, and maybe that's my reasoning of saying, like Josh Allen is a better quarterback because he's passed first. And now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the run is no good. I'm saying that like if he has to go down and make it let's just say Lamar Jackson has to come from down 10. Is he able to do that? He's not going to be that. Can he be that gunslinger that can go down and win his team the ball game? We haven't seen it.
But you don't need him to be a gunslinger because
if you down 10,
well, and then if you could also rip off a 70-yard run,
okay,
like and that's all you need is to be electric. It doesn't matter like how you score.
I mean, yeah, true, 7-7.
Yeah, 7 points.
But if you're down, you're more likely to have to throw the ball. If it's raining,
I don't know if Baltimore goes away from what they did all season.
But that's the problem too, though, because we see a lot of teams that go away from what they're used to doing. We saw Buffalo do it last week where they on fourth down they went for a fake.
And Josh Allen and that, I mean, the fourth down is not Josh Allen's call, but you saw the offensive coordinator like when they showed the pass chart.
Yeah.
And his pass chart was everything. Like it looked like Alex Smith's pass chart. Like I know you felt like this was 2016 all over again. Like I know you felt the way because literally every pass.
Yeah.
Like every pass was within 5 to 7 yards, and that is a coordinator saying, "Hey, Josh, don't go lose this game for us."
Yeah.
And I mean, I've said it for years that people have called Patrick Superman for so long that Josh tries to throw on his cape.
He was doing a hell of a job of it.
He was trying till it came the time to be clutch. And the bubble guts just took over.
Who you got? Who y'all got? Chiefs, Ravens.
Chiefs by 3.
Chiefs by 3.
Chiefs by 3.
The Ravens are favored by 3 too.
And I've tussled with this pick all week because how do you pick against Patrick Mahomes?
I don't know. You tell me.
If
you did it last year in the Super Bowl.
If it's the rest of
we saw that how that works.
If it's the rest of the team,
yeah.
If it's the rest of the team, I'm picking the Ravens.
Okay.
But
so you're not gonna take the field. You're just like I'm taking that.
At this point, I do not want to pick against Patrick Mahomes, but I'm going to do it today.
Oh, hot take.
Yeah, see how he tried to build that up just to tear it down?
No, because I mean he's proven me wrong all season.
Dang.
And that's the tough thing about this pick. And the only reason I make this pick, and it's the only thing that has pushed Baltimore over the top for me this year, is because they're a team that's having fun. Like Willie Gay with the swag surf. That was just like, I think that was his swag surf comment was to like hype up the fan base and say, hey, you guys, great job. But the players don't really like the swag surf. And when it was that 2019 season, that swag surf thing was kind of like the thing. Like, I won't say it started
last year too. Last year, because I remember I posted a video.
I'm saying kind of like the origins of that swag surf thing kind of popping off. Because you really didn't see a lot of Chiefs players doing a lot of dancing and dance breaks and stuff like that. Then 2019 came in and it was a whole different energy. And really, it's the energy of the team is the only reason I'm picking Baltimore. Baltimore looked like they had a lot of fun against the Texans.
This Chiefs team, before we move on, this Chiefs team has adopted that villain role.
Yeah,
they've adopted that, and I feel like that is what's.
And you know what their villain origin story was?
Is that
week 1 at home?
Here you go.
Here we go. Hot take.
I got Chiefs though. I think they're gonna. Yeah, I think they're gonna.
What are you thinking?
Oh man. Well, I think by a touchdown. I'm gonna go out and say it's by a touchdown.
Earlier this week, I said Baltimore wins by 10. I think it was 31-21.
All right. I guess we will see.
Yep.
It'll be a fun one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
TCU women's basketball team adds 4 walk-ons after holding open tryouts. Shoot, maybe I should have got out there, like you said.
You should have.
Too bad I don't have any eligibility left. Otherwise, I might have considered. But yes, this is a crazy story. Like Steve had said, we've been talking about it. They were a little desperate, had nothing to come off the bench. It seemed like between eligibility, sickness, whatever. And they just happened to have some reigning state champs that were just regular students, came out to try out, bringing them on for scholarships now. Q, your thoughts on this one? Or not bringing them on for scholarships, but bringing them on in place of those scholarships.
Yeah, no, definitely. I like that. One, it shows that how a lot of these Division I programs and schools as a whole have a lot of talent on campus.
It's overlooked.
Yeah, it's and
that's why intramurals be so fun.
No, exactly. And it's funny because when I went to Southern, my first semester, and I think I was walking home from class on like a Tuesday or Wednesday, and there was this whole intramural flag football game going on. And it was so crazy because a lot of those athletes were far better athletes than the athletes that were actually on the football team.
Yeah.
And that's what blew my mind. Yeah. And so this situation brought me back to that because I'm just watching it. It was a couple of guys in that flag football tournament that were human highlight reels. Like literally Dante Hall mixed with Tyreek Hill type of like talent. And they probably, I don't know if they didn't have the grades or whatever it was, but I mean, so imagine like another 30 of them on a Division I campus.
It's a bunch of friendships that have been lost.
Yeah.
During intramurals. Like,
yeah.
My first year of school, I got into it with one of the football players because I wasn't supposed to be playing. But I'm out there. He got getting mad. But yeah,
which school was this at?
This was
is it in Iowa?
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, but I think this is dope. Because one of the young ladies I read that she was like they interviewed her dad. It's like, well, she's a state champion. Like, why is she? Oh, well, she decided to give up basketball. She wanted to pursue medicine.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
Lauren Duvernay Tardif,
right?
He did the same thing.
True.
Like,
very true.
And yeah, shout out to those athletes too, because even now, like me being not that far removed, but being removed at all from a sport and then like bouncing back in it, especially at the D1 level, like that's huge to be not in the role.
You think you
know,
can
you
go get
gotta knock the
buckets right
rest off. Probably not. I think my chances at soccer more. Soccer still, obviously, because I played in college and it still comes naturally. But basketball, it's been some years since high school. So I like my chances at soccer better. But I couldn't imagine like even me being removed this long and then all of a sudden deciding to play at a D1 level.
Yeah, it's different.
Crazy. You just get in like your routine. You're not training like you normally were.
It's called life, Jazz.
Yeah. I'm still adjusting. If you can't tell.
That life knock on that door and hit you like, hey, I'm here. Good morning.
Still adjusting. 25. That's what we're trying to figure out, right?
So if UMKC soccer calls and's like, hey, we have a couple of players that didn't make it back from the Super Bowl. They're still hungover. Would you lace them up?
Like, give me about 3 to 5 business days to train, see how I'm feeling. Maybe try this fitness test one more time.
Because that's what I'm wondering also. Like, were these girls in shape?
Right. Like, or was just like keeping it up and working out every day still, or had to be at least.
Yeah, probably. Well, one of them played volleyball. She's like the star volleyball player or something.
Oh, okay.
They pull her coach probably like, hey, they're gonna give you a little scholarship money.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Netflix to stream WWE's Raw in a $5 billion deal. Big B's, like Steve said. I know Broderick's excited about this one.
Yeah, the peanut gallery over here.
It's cool though. It's cool though. I'm not really like hype on wrestling. Should I say wrestling? Wrestling. I'm not really hype on wrestling like that, but this is huge. Like, it just shows you how much money is still involved with wrestling. Like, I heard The Rock say something earlier this week, and he was just like, yeah, it's still here. Like, we're not going anywhere
at all.
And this is 2025 that they're planning on starting this
at all.
So a whole year away. And it's dope. And there's still a lot of wrestlers in the pipeline too. That there's a young lady from here. I can't remember her name, but she's like on the circuit now. And man, this is a huge deal. $5 billion ain't chump change.
No, it's not at all.
It's a lot. I didn't know, I'm sorry, that WWE was still like this prevalent, you know? Like I remember
Broderick.
yeah, like whenever I was younger, I remember watching, and maybe that's just me not paying attention anymore, but I didn't like $5 bill.
Yeah.
It's quite the deal.
No, yeah. And even when I was a kid, they were filling out like Kemper Arena and like arenas still. So to see the progress of it to reach like Netflix, like Netflix is getting into sports now.
They are. They're gonna be doing football. They're trying to buy ESPN. So I mean, this is where it's gonna be. And then I feel like Netflix is gonna just be the YouTube TV.
So how does that future look for like a ESPN? Like are you wanting to subscribe to every game?
I mean, once you have a subscription, because what does Netflix cost now? $15? Something like that?
Yeah, but I think
could you see yourself paying $50 for Netflix?
A month?
A month. $50.
Nah.
So what you gonna do?
Nah.
How you gonna get your sports?
What you mean?
What do you mean what I mean?
YouTube TV.
What you gonna do? YouTube TV is 70.
Just like you only use what's the percentage of your brain you use?
Mine?
Like
it ain't much.
I think it's you use like I don't know, it's 50-60% of your brain. I think that's how much on the internet is behind a paywall. The other 50%, we know about that other 50%. And it's called piracy. Now, I'm not saying I do it, but I know some people that do.
Yeah, you know a guy.
I know a guy.
Well, I know a guy that knows a guy that's related to the guy.
Oh, okay.
Down
Yeah.
the pipeline.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know that guy personally, but you know.
Yeah. Fair enough. On the other hand, Vince McMahon resigns from WWE UFC parent company amid rapes and sex trafficking allegations.
It's crazy.
So, Broderick, I wish I could give you a mic right now. But does Vince McMahon being away from wrestling make it better?
Okay, have Broderick come on over here talk about this for a second.
Or does, because do you look at, and yeah, hop on a mic. So
because he's the resident wrestling fan / expert.
Definitely an expert.
Yeah, because like, do you look at Vince McMahon like Jerry Jones is to the Dallas Cowboys, like kind of being the reason they're held back, or
Yes.
or do you like how does this make wrestling better?
Vince McMahon is stuck in sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Hello. Vince McMahon is stuck in like a 1990s, like he's way back in the past. Like he's so stuck in his ways because it got him to where he is that he's not going to change anything. So he was head of everything. It has to go through Vince. If you have a great idea and Vince likes that idea, he has to change it a little bit so that it's like, oh, it's Vince-ified.
So it's kind of like Jerry Jones.
My idea. Yeah.
Okay.
So all these allegations, a lot of this stuff, a lot of it came out like last year, and that's why he stepped down from like creative, and that's why Triple H stepped up, and then now wrestling is more mainstream. It's starting to do it's starting to get more main. They're starting to do things with like ESPN, and it's starting to be, oh, we're going to go on First Take and talk about it. Yeah. They're getting into like how they're with TKO, which is like the head company of UFC. So they're on posters with them now. So it's becoming more of like a mainstream sport. Vince would never do that. This is wrestling. Like we cannot change this.
And wrestling always seemed pretty fringe. But do you think mainstream in a sport? Because we've seen gaming become mainstream over the last 10 years.
Sure.
And I mean, wrestling is a mainstream sport, but a lot of these partnerships with conglomerates, do you think is going to make the product better?
100%. Like, even when Triple H got into creative, you could see the storylines became a lot better. A lot of people that were fired came back because they were getting, like, I wouldn't say mistreated, because with these allegations, I don't want to say that, but they weren't getting the screen time they needed. They weren't getting the right pushes. Like, their character that you came to know of would get changed because You got to ventify it. So when Triple H came into creative and got like spots on the board and stuff like that, you see a lot of things change. They hired Nick Khan, who started taking over like day-to-day type of stuff, and he's been one of their best hires they've ever had, probably the best hire they've had. So it's making the product better off camera and on camera at the same time with him being gone, because again, he was just stuck in, this is what got me here. I'm Vince McMahon. I'm God, essentially, is what it is.
God complex.
Nah,
very much
for sure.
Yeah,
as a God.
And before you get out of here, who's the greatest wrestler of all time?
That's tough because I have a lot of wrestlers I really like. But if you had to ask me my favorite wrestler of all time, I can't say greatest. If you had to ask me my favorite wrestler, I'm a Chris Jericho guy.
Okay.
Off the screen, all them January 6th stuff. Hey, Chris Jericho, you tripping? But on camera, I'm a Chris Jericho guy. I love Chris Jericho.
But as the greatest of all time.
Greatest of all, that's hard. Greatest, no,
great.
okay, all right. If we're being honest, greatest of all time is John Cena. And a lot of people don't want to hear it.
I know that one.
A lot of people don't want to hear. Everybody know John Cena.
Yep.
Everybody knows The Rock, Stone Cold, but like
Undertaker,
John Cena, like exactly, exactly, John Cena.
Yeah.
You can't deny it.
So where do you put
best interests?
where do you put John Cena on your top 10 favorite rappers?
Rappers?
I'm putting it.
John Cena did drop
he
one album
did.
with no hit,
He did.
like straight hits. I ain't even gonna lie.
He did.
That album he dropped.
I won't say it was hits, but he dropped an album.
It was solid.
trolling now.
It was solid. It was solid. You would have never thought like John Cena had like bars. So he was like, oh, okay. Yeah. It's one of those.
Well,
if he has bars, I'm guessing he owns a couple of establishments, but okay.
Probably does.
Well, the show must go on. Jim Harbaugh is leaving Michigan to accept Chargers head coaching job.
You know what?
Was this written on the wall?
I can't say Jim Harbaugh was written on the wall, but I feel like they are looking for an answer to become. They're looking for an answer to become more competitive in the AFC. Because if you think about the AFC landscape right now, you've got the Raiders, who just hired a hometown. He's from LA, but like since they moved, he's still a hometown product. And so you got the Chiefs, you got Andy Reid. And then you've got the Broncos, who has their guy now in Sean Payton. And then now it's like, all right, where can we fit in this mix? Do we want somebody who's currently in the league, or do we want somebody who has a resume that could probably, shake some things up? And I feel like that's what they're going to get with John Harbaugh. I mean, he has a coaching tree. We know his brother. We're going to see him coach tomorrow. Or was that? Yeah, tomorrow. And Jim Harbaugh. So I feel like he knows what he's doing. And he's going to be able to go out there and take this young QB and make it work.
And I asked, was it written on the wall? Because in hindsight, and especially now, yesterday, after getting all the news of Michigan hiring Sharon as their actual coach, wait until this news drop. Was it written on the wall? Because I felt like when they brought Sharon on, it felt like, hey, this is your coach now. And it felt like, hey, we're moving on. This is the future. And even seeing this, like how fast the Chargers fired their coach. I mean, there was still 2 games left?
They ran through a bunch of coaches. A bunch.
But I'm saying, like, just even this year, I think it was 2 or 3 games. It was probably 2 games left.
Sometimes, when you sick and tired of being tired.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, when did these talks start? Like, did they start before his suspension or after? I don't know.
Yeah, and then they go on to win a national title. I mean, that kind of gives you that stamp of approval too. It's like, all right, he just won a national title. Let's get him while he's hot. He's not gonna go. We know he's not going back to Michigan. So let's get him while he's hot. He's going around here. When you come out to LA, you could do this interview. We ain't letting you leave.
Because you can go to the NFL and cheat as much as you want. You'll steal all the signs.
Ask Bill Belichick.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll discuss some USA basketball. Keep it locked in. This is W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Your loved ones matter the most. Take the burden away by pre-planning personal arrangements that fit you and your family perfectly. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services will be here to comfort your family and take special requests. Plan and feel confident your loved ones will be less stressed and can console each other in their time of need. We will be here when you need us at 816-231-GATE or visit kcgoldengate.com. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors: classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, and we'll get to whatever topic you want.
Okay, Steve, tell them. Heard. Team USA. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards headline the player pool for 2024 Olympics. Quite the pool.
Yeah.
Pool party.
It's fire.
Is Anthony Edwards what the NBA has been missing?
Between Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, those young guns, yes. And no pun intended.
I was about to say, that was a terrible parallel. That is the worst.
It went right over my head till you said that.
Right away. I just looked like, that's the worst one you could have used.
No, but yeah, I think they are bringing some electricity to the league.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have like a couple of the Knicks guys. You got Zion. You have this new wave of player. Because we see what's happening right now with, I mean, you got Bron that's, turning 40.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a KD that's still getting into it with everybody. We see
and not brushing his hair still. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we see the older guys that, I mean, they're phasing out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's happening rather fast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we saw Luka last night. What did he have? 73?
I mean, you think it's happening fast, but LeBron was old in the bubble, and that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, also with your whole pun intended, Anthony Edwards, without the drama, his off-scene drama, I think it's a great mix. But I'm excited for this one.
I mean, that comes with a professional athlete. I mean, Tyreek Hill, all these guys, they're, the one and the same.
Yeah.
But no, I like the energy that he brings to the game, just from how he talks to other players, like the little sound bites we get of him. Like I love that, and I like that energy in the NBA because I sound like an old guy, but I don't want all these players being friends. It's kind of the same thing in the rap game. Like you don't want all these guys being friends.
Yeah, you got to have a villain. You got to,
got to,
and that's Draymond. Like Draymond is one of the villains. You got to have that guy that is like the Dennis Rodman that's just like the outlier.
But he's a villain. But then you also have a guy like Anthony Edwards that's like, look, you don't scare me, dog. Like, please. And so that's what I like these young guys being able to talk to these old villains like that. That's so funny.
See, now a matchup I love, Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu to face off in battle of 3-point contest champions.
It's gonna be fire. And this might be a year she might be able to get old Steph. Because Steph's been kind of down, of course. Then we say he's down, and he comes off and runs off 5 threes in the first quarter. So I was like, but yeah, no, it's gonna be fun.
Look,
competition.
Steph and Pat come from that same light skin pedigree where
you there too. What you talking about?
Oh, I know. I know.
You and I both.
I know my talent level.
Hey, why his voice changed? Oh, I know.
I know my talent level. But no, it's that same pedigree of like of athlete that when you doubt them, that's when like they really turn it on. And I don't know. Hate to be brutal towards a girl, but you know.
No, I think she's gonna hold her. I think she's gonna hold her arm. And they still got to figure out like where are they gonna be both shooting from the same distance? Which I feel like she should shoot from the women's 3 and he should shoot from the men's NBA 3. I mean, because it's only fair. That's where she normally shoots. Yeah, you know.
I don't think it would be fair to adjust either way. Like, yeah.
Because I mean, you put Steph in too close.
Yeah,
that's not his normal 3-point shot.
Right.
And if you know, so
I don't think that foot. What is it, like a foot and a half?
Something like that. Yep.
And I don't think that makes a difference.
Okay.
Girl power. I got faith in her.
All right.
NFL confident playing surface at Allegiant Field will be optimal after last year's issues. Hot take.
They can say that.
At Allegiant Field?
Allegiant Stadium.
Oh, they're talking about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they did the it was that water system thing that they rolled it in.
A lot of people complained about it. I think that was more of a one-sided thing. It was more of the complaint came from more of the Eagles than it did from the Chiefs.
We talking about unpreparedness going back to that Super Bowl. That is crazy. Yeah. That's crazy for that team to be that good.
Yeah.
And then after 11 games this year, just wow. That is,
Yeah, but it'd be good to see, like, because we're going to be able to get a preview of the field before the game, and I don't think they roll the field in from outside in Vegas. They take care of it inside.
Yeah, I think they do that. That's internal. I wouldn't expect them to be rolling that in. But yeah, hopefully it's a better surface because it was slick early in that game last year. Like you could see a lot of players falling, but I mean, the Chiefs probably brought extra spikes and Philly probably did not.
No, I'm excited. And like you said, it'll be cool us getting the first glimpse.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. Michigan promotes Sharon Moore to replace Jim Harbaugh after national title run.
He did enough to get the job.
I don't like it.
You know?
I don't like it. And this is very different from my take with the Patriots. Because, I mean, the Patriots was a similar situation. They groomed the guy from inside the program and made him head coach. Okay, maybe I don't like it because I don't think he's going to stay there long. Michigan,
where else can you go?
I mean, Michigan is a storied program.
Exactly.
A very storied program.
They giving him a shot.
Stopgap.
Okay.
He's the guy that they're going to use the setup to get someone else. Because how does he recruit?
It's Michigan. It's Michigan. People lining up around the corner, and you don't really have to recruit now. You got NIL deals. As long as you throw in the bag.
People weren't lining up at Michigan before Jim Harbaugh, were they?
Yeah, Michigan is you know you're going to get Ohio State. You're going to go get Michigan State.
And that's what I'm saying. Like before Jim Harbaugh,
yeah,
Ohio State is what ran the Big Ten.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're going to play that. I guess that's my mentality. Go play the best, But Michigan,
because Michigan was asleep for a while before Harbaugh got there.
They were.
So.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break. I got to interrupt this madness again. Coming back, we'll dive into our Hate It or Love It segment. Keep it locked in. This is Debbie Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Your loved ones matter the most. Take the burden away by pre-planning personal arrangements that fit you and your family perfectly. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services will be here to comfort your family and take special requests. Plan and feel confident your loved ones will be less stressed and can console each other in their time of need. We will be here when you need us at 816-231-GATE or visit kcgoldengate.com, exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors. Classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
To the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it. Message us. We'll talk about whatever topic you want. We do have one today. I don't know if this one's for the ladies, but an Oxford study concluded that men need at least 2 guys' nights a week to stay healthy. Boys,
like
what is your take on this one?
I like that. I mean,
Of course you do.
It's about the camaraderie, right? It's about friendship. It's about,
Yeah. It's like Galentine's. You know?
Is this shots fired right back? Are we going tit for tat?
No. This is I'm not even being funny. I mean, it's definitely like Galentine's.
True.
Like women use Galentine's and sometimes Friendsgiving and different things to to be social. This is guys' version of that. It's just that guys, we're not really emotional, so we don't know how to say we need our friends.
It's funny though. It's like the time we spend with our friends would be like the time a lady would go and get her hair nails and all that stuff. Because that takes a few hours.
True.
Right?
And y'all don't have like maintenance long term.
Yeah, we in a barbershop 30 minutes tops and we out of there.
Depending on your barber.
True. But it also said men must physically meet with 4 friends 2 times a week in order to reap the benefits of male friendship. Those benefits, in addition to general health, include faster recovery times when faced with illnesses, even height levels of generosity.
Oh, so I'll let you hang out with your friends so that I can get this purse. Okay, now let's be generous.
Because I mean, this is like men's mental health awareness.
True.
And they disguise it in like the guys' night things, but I mean, that's definitely what it is.
Yeah. On a serious note, yes, I agree. Like, there's good to have a healthy balance between spending your social time and being in a relationship. So I love it. And like you said, while you go with your boys, I'll go get my nails done. It's a day.
Because you can't always be at home with the kids fighting for the Wi-Fi signal.
But you know what? I need at least I need 2-3 times a month with the homies. You know what I'm saying? Just hanging out, whether it's dominoes, whether it's golf, whether it's conversation, man. You got stuff to talk about.
Yeah, you gotta touch base. You gotta touch base. Definitely. Let's get into our hate or love it.
It's that time for love it or hate it.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
starting off the sneakers of the week, we have the Air Jordan 6 yellow ochras.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okra. And it's Mardi Gras season. I like that.
You like those, Q?
Mm-hmm.
I can dig them.
Yeah.
The Nike SB Dunk Low Pro Court purples.
Hey, they could take these off of here.
What? I think these might be my favorites
Not this
week.
week. Not this week. They
Oh,
not.
yeah. True,
Nothing purple.
Any other week.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll
is
give you
that
That's where
what
we
it
at.
is?
That's where we at. Yeah,
Okay.
that's where we at.
I mean, I
Exactly.
like these regardless. But yeah, I really like them now. These are my pick of the week.
Fair enough. My second favorite's probably this week, the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Chinese New Year.
These are fire. They have a lot of the Chinese New Year Jordan Lows and the Air Max and stuff. It's super dope.
Yeah. And I like this green olive color wave that's been coming out. I feel like it's pretty popular right now. Nike Dunk Low Women's Photon Dust.
These are
I don't like these.
I'm
These are
not
the
a
only
fan.
ones I don't like.
Really?
Yeah.
And on second look, I really don't like the purple ones.
Ah.
I don't like that black in the front. I would have switched the black and the purple.
Nah, that'd be too much purple. Too much sauce.
I think the last one just has no color pop. Like it's
Yeah.
too like monochrome. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not with it.
Too bland.
Yeah. Now, National Women's Soccer League makes new streaming service NWSL Plus free to fans for upcoming 2024 season. Hate it or love it.
I love this.
I love it.
Yeah. Definitely like it.
And especially with the stadium and everything. And I know the season opener and everything's sold out already. So we know we'll at least be showing out on there.
Yeah, because they sold out of season tickets as a whole, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we will definitely be showing out on
I
the
like.
big screen. Love it. Caitlin Clark's collision with a fan raises court storming concerns. Hate it or love it.
She
Did y'all see that?
Let's see what happened.
After the game, Ohio State storms the court, and you're watching it there. We shadowed it for you. A little bit of a scary moment as a fan has an accidental collision with Caitlin Clark. You see it right there. Personnel crowds around her. She ended up being okay. She said she was fine. She just got the wind knocked out of her a little bit. She did say it was.
So
She won an Oscar for that. I'm
so
sorry.
who's
So
no,
dramatic.
she's not winning an Oscar for that. She did not get a nomination for that. So who's worse at flopping?
LeBron?
No, because LeBron's not even up there. Is it Joel Embiid, Caitlin Clark, or James Harden?
Ooh.
It
She
used
might
to
have
be
took the
James
cake
Harden.
with that
With
one.
this one,
She
she definitely come to the
definitely
top of
took
the list. But here's the thing, though. In all seriousness, though, they got to whatever. You got so many security. You got to keep these fans off the court.
No, you don't.
But you know how it stops though? Win.
Yeah, because you don't know. You don't. Fans storming the court. Knock on wood. I don't. We've never seen anything malicious.
We had KU. What was it was Bill Self. Yeah, it was Bill Self got upset because I don't remember who they played and they stormed. Was it Texas Tech?
No, I think it was K-State.
Maybe it was K-State.
I think it was K-State.
Yeah, maybe it was K-State.
But
yeah,
that's and what I'm saying is like these are kids. They're running on the court. They've already been patted down, so it's not like they're gonna go out there and beat up a professional athlete. But that was ridiculous, and I'm for storming the court. Like, please pull down the goalposts, pull down a basket, whatever you got to do. But to prevent that, win.
Yeah, fair enough. Former Georgia Bulldog mascot dies with 2 national championships during his term. Hate it or love it.
You hate it. And
dog lover.
The dog's name was Q. That's funny.
The dog lover in me hates this one. But hey, he went out on top. 2 national championships, more than I ever got.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Period.
Him and Stetson Bennett.
We appreciate everyone who joined in on today's show. What you guys have going for the rest of the day?
Ooh, sleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't make it sound like it's a chore.
No, because we're gonna miss a lot of sleep next week.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Jess, how about you, birthday girl?
The girlies are gonna hit a sip and paint.
Okay.
So I'll be a first. I'm a rookie. We'll see how good my painting turns out.
Oh yeah.
And then
share it to the group.
I got you. And then afterwards, we're gonna hit a little speakeasy or something downtown.
Nice.
Just to chill.
Hey, happy
a tasteful
birthday.
25.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We
Thank
appreciate everyone who joined in on today's show. Remember, you can catch a rewind of our show on Mondays, 100.1 FM1 Kansas City Radio. Send us a message, #talk about it. We'll talk about whatever topic you want. Until next week, we out of here.
Peace.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.